So the sun's starting to go down. Makes it a little bit cooler outside. Not much, it is South Georgia. So let's give that exhaust clip a try. Have to excuse the sky view. I guess at least there's a sunroof there instead of a blank ceiling panel. Oh, at least there's some action going on. So what I've done is I've had the exhaust removed from where the step down is off of the catalytic converter mid pipe. The very ends of those, there's a step down into, I guess, 2 1/4 or so. So we removed it just beyond those, actually beyond the coupler, because the cross pipe that I chose, Flowtech 2.5 inch, the angles on it kind of flared out maybe a little bit much. So they had to do some carving down on it as well to fit it all in the tunnel there, which I think had they assessed it a little bit more, they probably could have gotten it just further back from the collector or the mid pipe. Although they say the closer you can get it to the front, it's better. Not so sure about that, but it does sound good compared to my dual exhaust I've had in the past and an H pipe. I know the H pipe did provide some low end torque and overall torque increase for that motor. From what I've read, the X pipe offers that torque as well increase, but it's supposed to change the noise. And I think it does. I will have to say it is my first Hemi with dual exhaust at a 2.5 inch. Factory catalytic converters have remained. So like I said, we just replaced it from the mid pipe back, so essentially a cat back. So what you've been hearing is me just kind of driving down through my neighborhood here, around the park area, and I'm about to pop out onto the highway, and we'll get a few wide open pulls and see what that sounds like. Probably gonna have to take a pause in there. It's getting just across the border into Mexico. That's going to take a few minutes. I'd have to say it sounds pretty good inside the car with the windows and everything up. Fairly quiet, to be honest. I mean, there obviously is, for anyone that has any type of aftermarket large exhaust, there's a low hum there, especially every time you get to starting to open it up. But going to pause it right here as I make my way to the highway and get across the border. See you on the other side. A little, well, very low note rumble. But to be honest, the air conditioner is louder inside. Difference you're hearing is as the exhaust warms up. So we've made it across the border there, just crossed it right side the corridor. We're gonna ease on down in this highway here and open her up. Some people have said that the motor sounds a little different when the MDS kicks on. I'm not sure if my MDS is actually even working anymore. I have clocked up to 25 miles to the gallon on a 6-hour road trip. Not interstate, but mostly highway. I think 25 miles to the gallon is pretty good for a Hemi-powered Magnum. And I didn't do anything special on that trip. I just put her around a deca or so over the speed limit, you know. Nothing too crazy. So we're going to get the revs up here and let it hum. So I mean, that's $4,000. Not loud at all, in my opinion. We're gonna bump it down into drive and let it hit 5th gear, and interstate's posted 70 miles an hour. We're gonna cruise with traffic. Just keep up with Mom over here in this minivan. How about that? See what kind of noise it makes. I'm gonna have to say that's acceptable cabin noise. Alright, minivan Mom is kind of holding up progression there. She won't speed up quite, but won't slow down, so I'm going to have to pass her so I can get to where I need to be. Yes, I suppose I could have slowed down and went around behind her, but the line of traffic would have meant that I had to do a lot of slowing. It was more acceptable to move forward. Than try to slow down. Because I was not going to be able to make my exit. I'm going to stick with my story. That minivan mom wouldn't let me slow or go, so I had to get in it. Then again, that's why you drive a V8, so that you have acceleration on the highway still, not just around town. Sure, getting up to speed is great, but sometimes once you're up to speed, things happen and you need a little bit more to tank. Speaking of, guess who's thirsty? Wanted to give it a little bit more there, but I'd already started coming around the apex there. Didn't want to spin her out. Feel that torque pushing you around when you lay all that weight to the curb and then start getting after it. Hopefully the sway bars will fix that. So now, the dirty little secret. These have been windows up exhaust video. Here comes the dirty little secret. Windows down. Quite horny. That's just that cruising speed. That's that cruising speed. They're just not too bad, not a real hump. What Johnny Law said the speed is. About to head back across that border. Gonna have to pause for now. I guess to give an honest opinion, I'm gonna have to finish out this video with the windows down as I make my way back home through the neighborhood to give you an idea of, you know, the actual noise level. I mean, with the windows up, it is completely different. That's why I have a little tag for the end of this video. So my honest assessment is very livable. I mean, it's supposed to be a more open exhaust. I was going for more sound. I've gotten definitely more sound. Definitely the deeper sound that I was looking for. The factory exhaust left a little to be desired. Let's just say that. And for me, it actually kind of helps me drive the motor a little bit better, if you know what I'm saying. Knowing what it's doing under load, when they let off of it, when I can stay in it. So might have to check back in about a month and see how my overall mileage has done, because in theory, getting more air out, motor should perform a little bit better. And if I stay driving as I always did, it should mean that the car is performing easier to do what I want it to, so therefore I should get better gas mileage. That's the theory, right? We'll see. Not driving it for miles to gallon, we're driving for miles or smiles. So, final thoughts. As an old hot rodder myself, it doesn't scream and break loose and sound like a wild animal is about to attack you when you go wide open with it. And I think that's because it's not an open headered vehicle. It does still have catalytic converters in it, so they kind of tame it down a little bit. But there's no raspiness. I'm loving that. And as an old hot rodder, I think it's very livable. I like the way it sounds, even with the windows down.